Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to your, mashallah, live health show, Your Health, here from Ikra TV. Alhamdulillah, coming to you live, mashallah. Jazakallah khair, and welcome back. Before the break, by the grace of Allah, we were going through the beginning of this remedy called alumina, a remedy for mental states. Subhanallah, this science of homeopathic medicine, ajib, is so good for so much illnesses. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has given us this science to help people, not just physically, but help them with their emotions, help them with their, psychiatric symptoms, and so much more, mashallah. Hazrat rahimahullah, our Sheikh Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Mutala, rahimahumullah, Qudus sirruhu, he really would love homeopathic medicine. And by the grace of Allah, he really pushed me and others as well to gain proficiency in this amazing science of healing for mankind, homeopathic medicine. Something even the Queen, the late deceased Queen, who was a great, supporter, and indeed her son, the King of England, Prince Charles, King Charles now, mashallah, he is also a great supporter of homeopathic medicine, mashallah. So let's continue with this remedy. It's very good for various things. Let's quickly rush through what it's good for. First of all, it can relieve constipation, sluggish motility, which is normally the cause of constipation. It can help with this. It can act on the nasal mucous membranes of your nose. It can reduce inflammation, and people who have lots of colds, it can help with that. And it's good for ataxia. Ataxia is kind of like an umbrella term for people who have poor muscle control, leading to falling over, being clumsy, sometimes putting things in their mouth, sometimes even swallowing, writing and reading, they make mistakes. Ataxia is good for this as well. And it's very good for, as I mentioned before the break, for eczema. So let's start with the first thing, memory weakness. This remedy is amazing for memory weakness. How many guys have memory weakness? When you go to your GP, what can he give you for memory weakness? Maybe he'll give you antidepressants. Allahu alam, I don't know. But yeah, memory weakness, this is an amazing remedy. And there are other remedies for memory weakness as well. So what you do and what your physician does, homeopathic physician, naturopathic doctor, is that he will look at the whole picture of the person and he will see what the major symptoms this person is exhibiting, and he's telling you. This is why whatever the patient says, we have to listen to that very carefully, because the remedy is found by looking at the symptoms the patient is presenting. And you have to be kind of so good at deciphering this patient. He could be taking you on a wild goose chase. You have to be aware of this. So this is why you be a homeopathic physician for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and you will become a master of reading people, because you've seen it all before. So one of the most effective remedies for memory weakness is this alumina. So to find this, the remedy which is fit for your patient, and the remedy, and how to distinguish between, let's say, 10 other remedies which are also very good for memory weaknesses, is to see which remedy has most of the symptoms of this remedy. Yeah, which remedy has most of the symptoms that this patient is exhibiting, and vice versa. That which patient has the symptoms that are found in the remedy. So these are the main points of this remedy. Number one, it has memory weakness. The person has memory weakness. They forget. They have forgetfulnesses, they forget things, they make frequent mistakes while reading and writing, they can't follow a chain of thought, they'll say something and then they'll head off somewhere else. And they do things very hurriedly, they do things very quickly, mashallah. They feel sad, they feel depressed. I mentioned before, they have this lack of sense of self being present. They'll say that, we're not here, it's like we don't exist. A very strange thing. When somebody says that to you, you don't forget that. Elderly people who've got weak memory can be highly benefited from this remedy. It's one of the top listed remedies for Alzheimer's, which is a progressive brain disorder which presents with memory loss, amongst other things as well. So very good for people who have got weak memory and they make frequent mistakes while reading and writing, and speaking and writing as well. Number 2, chronic cold. This remedy, the person who needs it, he'll have a very weak memory for sure, but also they'll have a chronic cold. They're always having cold, their nasal septum is inflamed, they're getting discharge from the nose, they have crusts around their nostril areas in the septum. So anybody who's got chronic cold, and that cold has a discharge which is thick and yellow. And a person feels that his nose is blocked all the time. So you add the dots. If a person's got confusion, they have hysteria, they've got this kind of Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde personality, they've got memory weakness, and they've got this chronic cold, then you can see that maybe it's this remedy they'll need. So they have crusts around their nose, and these crusts have offensive smell. And number 3, their sense of smell is diminished. Their sense of smell is diminished. They can't smell properly. If this is and also sometimes they may have pain right at the root of the nose, right there. So if they have pain there and they've got this memory problem, they've got a chronic cold, they maybe have a yellow discharge from the nose, then the symptoms are increasingly matching this remedy. So weakness of memory, number 1. Number 2, chronic cold. Number 3, throat complaints. This is an amazing remedy for complaints of the throat. So a person will say, my throat feels very, very dry. It seems I have some kind of a discharge from the nose falling into my throat. They also always have dry throat and dry mouth. This remedy is very dry, by the way. It doesn't like dryness, it doesn't like cold, it likes humidity, it likes damp, and it's better by that. So throat complaints, the food passes with difficulty because of constriction. And this constriction isn't just here in the throat, it's also in the rectum as well. Their stools will always be thin. Their stools won't be thin, they can be normal stool, they can be thin stools, but they will always find it difficult to pass because of this sense of constriction and dryness, and this pervades this remedy from the mouth to the throat to the whole alimentary tract to the rectum. Constriction, even they themselves will feel constricted and will feel tightness. So a very good remedy where there's big complaints of throat. The person who needs this remedy will always be clearing his throat, always going. You'll see some people, if you ask them, they'll say, yeah, you know what, we have memory weaknesses, we have got this chronic cold, we have this issue with our throat, so the things will come together. Number 4, rectal complaints is a good remedy for rectal complaints. Rectal complaints for piles is a very good remedy for piles. If you have hemorrhoids, it's a very good remedy. And it's a very good remedy for constipation. In this remedy, what's happening is that the whole motility, the peristalsis of the kind of large intestines just slows down. A person just can't, he may have the urge, but he can't produce the stool because the whole peristaltic action has slowed down. Aluminum. So it helps in cases of constipation by improving the motility. Motility means the liquid in the intestines. It makes it more liquidy, it makes it more watery. It helps kind of, restore the water balance and the natural state of the intestine, which helps with constipation. Most people who are constipated are very, very dry. Very, very dry. So a person who needs it will have to strain to pass a lot of stool. The stool may be, as I mentioned, maybe hard or soft, but they will always find it very difficult and they'll have to strain to pass the stool. So remember that. A person who has constipation and his stool, when it's passed, is quite soft, but he finds it difficult to pass. This is a sure indication that they will benefit from aluminum. The remedy is called aluminum, by the way. Aluminum or alumina. A homeopathic remedy, mashallah. Easily available. And also they can experience cutting pains when they're passing their stool. They find it very painful. I mean, even children. Some children find it very difficult to pass stool, and they can benefit from this aluminum. Especially children who are being nursed or being bottle fed, they will have constipation and they can benefit from this aluminum for constipation. Alhamdulillah. And I mentioned that it's very good for piles. So we've had 4 kind of main symptoms of this remedy. The first one was for weak memory, whether it's to the degree of Alzheimer's and dementia or whether it's just occasional forgetfulness. This is a good remedy. Number 2, for a person who's got chronic cold with a discharge which is dry from the nose, yellow discharge. Number 3, a person with throat complaints, always, clearing their throat, always feeling that there's irritation at the back of their throat. And number 4, they have issues of rectal disorders, they have constipation, they have hemorrhoids, they have difficulty passing their stool. This is a very good remedy. Number 5, skin complaints. If that person has the four symptoms mentioned, they also have skin complaints, or they've had a history of dry skin, they have, like, for instance, skin itching, they're always itching, intolerable itching. They have to have intolerable itching where they're just itching all day long, and they scratch and itch so harshly that it causes their skin epidermis to break open, the dermis, and for them to start bleeding. And the skin obviously becomes painful after scratching. And they have such scratching which is worse when they are getting warm. So when they get warm, all the symptoms get worse, and when it's cold, they feel better. So this remedy, this person who wants this remedy and will benefit from the remedy is a person who doesn't like the warmth, he likes the cold, and he doesn't like dryness because he's dry himself or she's dry herself. They like humidity, and this makes their symptoms better. So the person who needs this will have to have, he'll have to be better for cold, and he'll be better when there's a lot more humidity. The person who has this may also have eczema. One is itching, one is eczema with the same traits, but they may feel that there's some kind of movements on their skin known as formication, which means like you feel like ants are running up and down your body. That's another indicator of this remedy, mashallah. And the sixth point of this remedy is very good for female disorders, any kind of discharges, leukorrhea, which are burning in nature, they're very, very burning. This remedy can really, really help. Any discharges which are ropey, and the discharge is worse during the daytime and not so worse at night time. Cold water makes the discharges better, and they feel very weak after the discharges. If this is the case, and with all the 5 symptoms, it's if they have the same things I mentioned before, weakness of memory, dryness, throat issues, dryness, and then constipation, and alongside that, they have the 5th issue of itchy skin. Alongside this, then this remedy will inshallah cure them. And the 7th and final symptom of this remedy is ataxia. I mentioned before, this lack of coordination, always falling, not being being clumsy. Also, in ataxia comes this difficulty with speech. Sometimes you have slurred speech. Sometimes you have tremor when speaking. Your eyes have involuntary movement. You can't follow things properly. This is known as ataxia. If you have this symptom as well, this remedy, mashallah, is very beneficial. Some of these symptoms, if you see, are the symptoms you see in elderly people. They have this memory forgetfulness, they have this ataxia, they have constipation, they can have skin rashes. So it's a very good remedy for elderly people, aluminum, and it's very good for constipation of the elderly people. So this remedy, aluminum or alumina, both are the same, alumina or aluminum, a homeopathic remedy. If you have these symptoms, then what dose should you take of this remedy? The dose you should take, mashallah, is a 30C potency, maybe every night for a period of 2 weeks, and see how it affects you, inshallah. 30C, which is the strength of it, every night for 2 weeks, and inshallah, this will benefit you tremendously. If you can't see a homeopath in your area, please visit them. They're trained to find the indicated remedy, and they're very, very, mashallah, they're very good at it, mashallah. Homeopaths, the training they have, it's a 4-year training. They go through all the etiologies of illnesses. They're taught, pathology and disease, differential diagnosis, and by the grace of Allah, it's a very gentle system. So this was, alhamdulillah, the remedy alumina. Next week we'll continue with another remedy, inshallah, and add to your knowledge of homeopathic medicine. And many people will have benefited today because they will find the symptoms very, very familiar, because they know somebody, or if not themselves, who have these symptoms. And homeopathic medicine, it won't look at one thing at a time. No, it looks at the totality. It's known as a holistic medical system, and it's been around for a long, long time, mashallah. And many, many people of intellect, presidents and princes and the well-to-do have always been patrons of this homeopathic system. And it's based strictly on science. Anybody who tells you otherwise is deluding you and deluding themselves. It's the most scientific system you can ever have. It's amazing, mashallah. So I hope you found this beneficial. Let's quickly go through now 21 habits of happy people. Bismillah. 21 habits the happiest people do every single day, mashallah. I'm sure you all want to be in this group of happiest people. How to set yourself up for a joyful day. Remember I mentioned to you earlier on that the way one of the ways you don't set yourself up for a happy day is being shocked when you're woken up by this alarm system you have, which can sound like the klaxons in a submarine, which shocks you, and all your day then is subsequently shocking you. So if you wake up nicely, peacefully, serenely, and itminan ke saath, then inshallah your day will go in a like manner. Let's quickly rush through this. We've only got 5 minutes. Number one, let the light in. Natural light should come in, mashallah. It gives you vitamin D, improves your quality of awakening. Just open your blind windows and you get this psychological and physiological benefit of daylight. Daylight is amazing, and this is mentioned by Dr. Nick Taylor, clinical psychologist and founder of workplace well-being platform called Unmind. So let the light in the morning. It helps your natural circadian rhythms, gives you the wake-up hormone, serotonin, mashallah, and dopamine. Dopamine. Number two, have a gentle wake-up call. I've mentioned this, that before you wake up, set your alarm clock 15 minutes before you need to wake up, and set it to a gentle tone, not something that shocks you. Number three, stretching is very, very important in the morning. We need to stretch. People go through years, decades without stretching. Stretching is a must in the morning. Our salat helps us stretch. If you do ruku properly, sujood properly, you are stretching. You can add to that with some other basic, soft stretches that help you kind of, flex your spine and extend. So going forward, going backwards, lateral sides, these things will really help you with having a sense of well-being. Number four, stay disconnected. So cortisol, stress hormone, when you wake up, you have stress hormone, cortisol. After about 30-40 minutes, this cortisol goes. So for that 35 minutes, don't go near your phone. It will just increase your stress hormone. So avoid checking your emails, other things first thing in the morning. Meditate. Meditation, what can I tell you about meditation? It's so amazing. I had a patient just last week. He came to the clinic, took his blood pressure, it was 194. Systolic. Diastolic was about 120. I said, and he said, I'm going to go to the GPs. They're going to give me some Ramiprazole, etc. I said, look, that's fine. But before you even go there, have you tried some, health changing methodology? He said no. So I said, sit here and breathe deeply. Breathe in 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, breathe out 5 seconds. I checked his blood pressure 3 times. You could see it come down. It came down to 136 over 84. Imagine, this was the revelation for this person. You wouldn't have seen a happier person than this person. He got so happy. I said, all you do is do this 3 times a day and increase it to 10 minutes. And inshallah, you'll regulate your breathing. So stay disconnected and meditate in the morning, mashallah. Number 5, practice gratitude. Alain shakartum la azidannakum. Everything is in the sunnah of Rasulullah. Appreciate what you've been given and take time to contemplate it. Mindful awareness. Thank Allah for the blessings. You're woken up. You're in a safe area. No one's bombing you. No Israelis are bombing you like they're bombing the people of Palestine. Alhamdulillah. Thank Allah for this. Write things down if you have to. Write things down that you're grateful for. And then it says, do a 1-minute recharge. Means just do some deep breathing for 1 minute. For 1 minute, you sit down and breathe deeply. This will give you a deep, deep recharge, inshallah. And then eating a nourishing, dopamine-friendly breakfast. Dopamine breakfast like oats, like eggs, kefir, these are all very good for you and they nourish you and they make sure they set you up for a happy, healthier day. And also, take a short morning walk. Get outside. Do a walk. Do zikr of Allah. Move around. Go for a walk with somebody in the morning. It makes you feel better, mashallah. Not to mention that you get this special benefit from the sun, the dopamine. And also, very important thing, make your bed. Don't just leave it. The first thing you do is make your bed. Once you've accomplished that task, you're primed to accomplishing other tasks. Studies have shown that a tidy home environment can lead to an increase in productivity and positive mental health benefits such as better organization, boosted creativity, ability to focus better and make decisions. Make sure that bed is made. Moving on, make a list. Everything you want to do, write it down. When you write something down, mashallah, there's so much barakat in this. And then it says, feed the birds. Go and feed the birds. Subhanallah. A growing body of research shows that seeing birds or hearing bird song, not song, it's actually zikr of Allah, can lower stress and reduce anxiety and lift our mood. So a good alarm clock would be bird zikr of Allah, in the chirping of birds. Try to get that. Then it continues, have a mindful shower again. Mindful meaning that just you're washing away doubts in your life. And alhamdulillah, after that, do something that makes you feel motivated. Adil bhai, do something that makes you feel motivated. And then it continues, play your favorite song. So for us guys, songs are gonna, Allah keep us safe. Play your favorite nasheed, or Qari Abdul Basit, or your best nasheed artist. And then it says here, you know, delay your caffeine. Delay, because I mentioned, as soon as you wake up 35 minutes, you have a peak of cortisol. This coffee continues to increase it, so delay that. And then write down your priorities for the day and hydrate. Have plenty of water. And I think our time has run out. Jazakallah for listening. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.